Chickity check.
Well, after that,
Yeah, it's only fair. I mean, it just makes good sense.
yeah. Ooh, there we go. Let's tighten that up.
Technical difficulties here. Swing and a miss.
Strike one. Welcome back
To the Bros, Brews, and the Basement
BB&TB.
podcast. Yeah, the BB&TB, for short.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's easier to say.
Yeah, kind of.
Thank you for coming back. And if this is your first time here, thank you for your first time here.
We appreciate you clicking in.
We do.
And viewing us on the tube of you.
The two
And-
of you, or
and-
listening on the other platforms.
Yeah, like Spotify or Amazon Music or Apple Music, any of those wonderful places.
Any and all of the above.
Yeah, we hope you follow us on all of those things. All the links will be posted in the description.
We are trying to be able to post the content on TikTok as well. So our TikTok will be listed. We believe you need to get to a certain number of followers to be able to do it on TikTok. We aren't sure. To be fair, haven't done a whole lot of research.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have, but I certainly haven't.
I have not.
I just tried to do it and couldn't. So we're assuming it's a follower thing.
Yeah.
So please follow us, TikTok, Instagram. YouTube is Basement Universe, but TikTok and Instagram are Bros, Brews in the Basement.
Yep.
And we're Bros, Brews in the Basement on all the other audio platforms as well.
Yep. All that stuff will be popping up on the screen, I'm sure, at some point. But as we said before, it will all be in the description. So give
Look
us a
there
follow.
if there's any questions.
Yeah, we appreciate the hell out of it.
So,
yeah, I mean,
I want to get started.
yeah, it's always nice to get a nice cold refreshment right off the bat.
I'm very excited for this. Zoom in. Good editing. Corey or me,
thanks.
depending on where it is.
yeah,
Thank you.
if it's a
You're
short, it's
welcome.
Dill, and if it's the actual thing, it's me.
We're doing some Juicy Monkey Hazy Imperial IPA by Victory. Love Victory's beers. Golden Monkey's very good. Sour beers are not my thing. However, people who drink sour beers have told me the Sour Monkey is very good as well.
Okay.
I've had other types of Victory. Don't remember their names. Liked them all. These are 9.5%, so we got to be careful, or maybe we shouldn't be careful and just have a good time tonight. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Don't have my car. I'm either Ubering or getting picked up, so it's a good thing.
And I'm off tomorrow, so.
And this is your house.
And
so
this is my house, so I just
if
have
you
to
have
walk
to
past
Uber
the camera.
later,
Yeah.
something's wrong.
You've
if you have to Uber later,
You've done too much.
we've made mistakes.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
You might get to see us hammered on this one,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Box is a
I
bit
like-
beat up.
I like the artwork again as usual. I like his little 5 o'clock shadow, but only on the
Oh, I
under
didn't even realize
on the
that.
under on like the neck part. I was about
Oh
to say
yeah, he's got neck beard
yeah, like only there though, not even on top.
with pineapple, tomatoes. I guess those are oranges.
Yeah, I would say oranges. Yeah,
See,
tomatoes
Can you see?
seems that would be like I feel like that'd be strange, right? But you never know. Maybe it's a secret
I don't know.
ingredient.
I mean, those little things look like tomato. Maybe they're cherries,
apple,
but no.
no, yeah, probably
Apples.
maybe
Maybe they're
cherries.
Those are tiny ass apples.
Yeah,
They
That
need
doesn't
to.
matter.
They need to look into that apple tree if those are apples.
need to figure their shit out.
Something's gone wrong.
Did you happen to look up anything about
No.
about them?
Nothing.
All right. I mean, I don't really know anything.
I was
either.
in the distributor, saw it. I said, "Wow, I want to drink that."
whistle
So
buzz whistle. Wow.
we were supposed to go to the Music on Main in Farmingdale tonight, which is basically it's a street festival where all the restaurants just put tents on the street. They shut the streets down. You drink on the streets, listen to music. It's pretty sweet.
Eat some good food. Yeah.
Eat some good food. Yep, but it rained, so they canceled that. So we, along with our friend Steven, who
Yep.
you also know because you watch every video on this channel.
Yeah. I mean, you've definitely seen the reacts with me and Steve, and Dylan's been on there as well.
I have.
But yeah, we decided to go out to the brewery down in Huntington.
Yep.
Six Harbors.
Six Harbors, shout out. Love going there. They have dogs there. The drinks are good. They're building a distillery on the top floor.
Oh, so good.
Can't wait. Can't wait to go there. Obviously, there's a lot more space when it's nice out because they have the parking lot, but it rained.
Yeah, unfortunate, but
still good time. So we had some brews before we were here. Now we're going to have some more brews.
Hell yeah.
However, these brews, a little bit stronger than the other brews.
Definitely stronger.
So that's why we're doing one instead of two.
Oh, yeah. And here we go.
I see from the last time I was here, the stain of the UFO is still here.
It will live on forever in infamy.
Yep. Not only is it on this cloth, you still have to remember how it tasted.
Yeah, awful.
Unfortunate.
Just got awful. If you didn't see that episode, please go check it out.
So what do we have here? Loaded with notes of fruit juice and ripe for the picking, Juicy Monkey is packing a punch as he joins the crew. Up front, pineapple and orange aroma meets Sabro, Lotus, and Sultana hops to drop a hazy Imperial IPA that will have you on monkey time in no time.
Man, that's
pretty sweet.
I don't know what kind of eye that is.
I don't know. Victory Brewing Company is from, is that Downingtown?
Downingtown,
Pennsylvania. Oh,
there you go. So we got a little bit of info.
They're in the area.
Yeah.
They're in the area.
We got a little bit
It's
of info.
Pennsylvania, a few hours away. Not sure where in Pennsylvania. Never heard of it. And these are recyclable.
Nice. I don't know if that's an evil eye on there or a good eye. Is it looking out for us or?
I think it's whatever eye you want it to be.
Right? It's a subjective eye.
I've been on Monkey Time. Monkey Time has done me good. Monkey Time the next day has been bad.
Uh-oh.
And sometimes it's just chill. So I say, let's give it a taste, and we'll see what's going on.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And cheers to all of you out
solid.
there.
Especially after using the plastic cups last week.
I know. What a disappointment, right?
Overall.
Something about these that's just, I don't know.
Oh, it smells great. You smell that? Of course you do.
Of course, yeah.
Of course he does.
Of course I do, guys. I smell everything.
See, when I think of, what's funny is this is way more citrus than the fucking citrus thing last week.
Yeah, it's true, though.
This is super juicy. Like, I honestly,
it's not overwhelming, but
you know,
can definitely
I could taste
it.
the pineapple and the orange, whatever this other fucking
It's
shit
funny
is.
how you get all those flavors, though, but it's like, it goes through different phases, right? Like, you have the beer taste in the initial portion, and then it's like, then you taste, like, the orangey mango, and then it kind of fades away into pineapple, and...
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very
It's
nice.
very good. You know what else? Fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
9.5%.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you do taste the beer taste in the beginning, but it goes away very quickly, and all I taste after
Is
that
the fruit.
is pineapple and orange.
And I know I said in the last podcast that I'm not a huge pineapple fan, but like when it's mixed like this and it's just kind of like
mixed well.
Yeah, it's like a very subtle hint of it. That's fine.
Right. It's not. It's there, and you could taste it, but it's not
the
just
primary-
overwhelmingly pineapple.
Yeah, it's
You know, it's not overwhelmingly orange. Like, it does a good job of taking you through the tapestry of flavors.
oh, tapestry. My God.
That's an SAT word. Or maybe not. Maybe
Oh
I was
my.
just dumb. I don't know.
That just makes me think of Parks and Rec with the quilt. Where is this going to be on the Ulani quilt? It's got its own square of joy. Man,
Means joyful. Sure it does. Sure.
so good, though. I'm going to have another swig.
Mike Ehrmantraut.
Another swig for the working man. Oh, man. Damn, that's good.
Wow.
Dangerously good.
My one thing, and it's not even about the taste, I could feel a decent amount of heartburn coming from this. As crazy as that sounds.
I mean, I can believe it.
Just the super citrusy shit can be can be pretty
little much.
heartburny.
Yeah.
So I could see if you overdo it, because I don't think anyone alone should be drinking a 6-pack of this themselves.
I think that's
I'm sure there are people out there that can. Probably shouldn't.
Probably shouldn't.
But can.
Yeah. Probably not a great idea for
I
your
feel
health.
like for me, two is where I'm going to be great. 3, potentially sleeping.
Yeah.
And having to wake up and take some Tums at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. I don't know. For myself, I mean, I would say 1 for me just to see, because I don't know. I don't know how this would affect me. I mean, it's definitely a higher percentage. We had a couple drinks already, and I'm a smaller individual, so who knows?
Because last week, when we were at our friend Eric's house, we had the pizza. We had the pizza late, and I had to wake up and take some Tums a few hours later.
It's a little rough with the acidity of pizza plus beer.
And the heaviness. That pizza specifically, there was so much sauce on it that, just needed some Tums. Sometimes you need some Tums. If you're not at a point where you need some Tums, that means you're young. Good for you. Enjoy it. We are still young, however, need some Tums at some times.
Yeah, we're weathered young individuals. Weathered. We're weathered.
We're just getting to the mid-30s of life is really where it's at.
Yeah.
I'll be 34 in 2 days, which is wonderful. Yeah. You'll be 34 in 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Crazy. It's a Wednesday. I'm going to be 34 on a hump day.
My birthday is a Saturday.
Oh, man. It's pretty great, though. It's a weekend. That's fucking awesome.
So tomorrow night,
that's
even
sick.
if no one comes to the barbecue out of our friends, which it doesn't seem like anyone is coming, maybe just Eric.
We'll have a separate thing.
I'm gonna have my own thing. Fuck it.
We'll have a celebration right here, God damn it.
I'm gonna have my own thing. It's called Kim's mom gave us these large ice pops that are 5% alcohol, and they're cotton candy, watermelon, and I can't remember the other flavor.
Jesus.
But there's enough water in them that they freeze. Hold on. She sent them to somebody, and I was in that. They're called Sun Pops. They're frozen cocktails, 6% alcohol, 100 calories. So
the calories matter.
If you're looking out for your figure, this is the way to go. All right.
So let's rate this.
I mean,
would you like to go first?
Yeah, I would. I'm just not sure I'm ready, so just give me a second.
Have a couple sips.
I do feel like we have been stingy on our ratings for the beers that we really liked because we were scared to go high.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to give this an 8.5. It's so good to me. Like you said, not a lot of beer taste. Super citrusy, which was the downfall of last week.
Yeah.
Like
just the
fruit taste wasn't there. Like this, you taste the pineapple.
Everything kind of tastes the same, right?
It's so out there. It's great tasting. 9.5%. So you should only need 2. If you're seasoned, then maybe you need more than that. I would also look into some help. However,
probably right.
But
if you're polishing off the whole thing, then
definitely. Well,
Frank Gallagher giving him a run for his money.
What's up, Frank? 8.5 to me. It's absolutely an 8.5. It's so good. Victory. I don't think they've missed. Now I don't like sour beers.
Yeah.
So to me, like their sour beers, it's not good because I don't like sour beers. But Eric, who does like sour beers, said the Sour Monkey is very good, which doesn't surprise me because all their beers are so good. And I feel like they mostly stick to Imperials because a lot of their beers are 9% and higher.
Yeah.
But to me, this is an 8.5. And I think this 6-pack was only like $13 or $14. Like, it's not bad.
You're getting bang for your buck, though, either way.
Because this at a bar or a Golden Monkey at a bar is $10 for one.
I guess you're really paying for that higher.
You're paying for the percentage,
Yeah.
and it's Imperial. So, and to be clear, they are giving it to you in a smaller glass.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was
right.
gonna
So
say,
if you get
they
a
probably
beer
give it to you in that same glass that you had
that I had
tonight,
earlier,
which I don't know how to describe what that is.
I don't know. Stem with
it's
like a tiny bowl.
Yeah.
Whatever
basically.
it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know. I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond at one point, but didn't take much in, clearly. Yeah, 8.5. This is fucking good.
Okay. I mean, that's a solid entry. Like you said before, right before you rated it, I do think we underscored or understated the previous beers because
specifically the Voodoo Ranger Citrus.
Like that should
I think we gave it a 7, right?
Yeah, which
I think
it should
it's
be
better
higher.
than that.
It should be higher, definitely. Because I like this one, right? It's definitely really good, but I still like the Voodoo Ranger better, and I only say that because I don't love pineapple.
Which is fine.
That's me. That's just my preference. That's me nitpicking and being subjective or whatever. So, I mean, I would still give this an 8, though, which means I would probably give the Voodoo Ranger like
an 8.5.
Yeah, like an 8.5 or a 9.
And that beer was great, but I think we gave it like 7 or 7.5. Which, looking back at it, what the fuck were we thinking?
I know. We were new. We hadn't done it yet. We hadn't rated this many beers, and now that
I think we need to have it on again and have a re-rating.
Yeah, I mean, at some point we're gonna just want to have beers that we liked probably for these podcasts because there's only so many we can do, and after having UFO, it's like, man, if it could get that bad.
Yeah, I would also.
Sorry, UFO, but yeah,
I would also say the selection. I do have to bounce around to different distributors.
Yeah, well, that's true,
because
right?
The place that I go to is named Superstar. It's in Huntington. But there's also another Superstar in Melville, which is probably 5 minutes away from the Huntington one. They are the same company, I believe, at least. Based on the name.
I would think so. But
they're the same company, and based on how they advertise. But their beer selection is similar. So I've noticed, like, I did find this at Superstar, which was great. But also, there were times where I was in Superstar, and I was like, like, I love coming here because I know they have the beers that I like. But when it comes to finding a beer that I haven't had to have here, I'm finding out that now their selection is becoming, it's just not there as far as new beers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to start bouncing around to different distributors that I haven't been to see what's available.
Yeah. Like I said, we don't have to do it doesn't have to be a new one every week. At some point we're going to run out of.
Well, what's interesting.
But it is fun though.
I was looking around on the maps on Apple and Google Maps around where I live. There are a handful of distributors within 5-10 minutes of my house I've never been to. So, we have options. But I mean, man, you're right. That Voodoo Ranger Citrus was very, very good.
Yeah.
We underrated it.
By a landslide.
Because I get where you're at, right? You don't like pineapple, which is fine. I do like pineapple, so, whatever. But the one thing I will say about that citrus, and we're sidetracking here, is that citrus.
We're still critiquing.
The beer taste wasn't there at all. It just tasted like orange.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Right?
A lot like this.
And that's what we said was super dangerous.
The more I drink this, the more fruity it's tasting to me.
And that's the thing is I do really like the taste of beer. So that's not a downside.
It's not a pitfall at all.
It was just something I was pointing out. But this is so good. This is so good. I could sit here and talk about this shit for a fucking hour.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'd love to know if, any of you guys watching this video, if you've had this beer, please let us know in the comments section if you enjoy it. What are your favorite parts about it, or your favorite different types of Victory beer, or just your favorite beer in general to drink. And obviously, feel free to comment down in the comment section.
Yes, give us suggestions.
Yeah, give us suggestions. We'd love to, have some ideas to try out some new beers. We're always looking to expand our palates.
Right.
So.
And also you have to figure with where we live, being that we're in the summertime, we're getting a lot of these citrus ones.
Yeah.
And once we move into fall and winter, the types of beers we get here will change. So if you live somewhere else with different weather patterns,
like Florida.
Yeah.
Cali.
Or you just have different beers. Maybe you have a local beer that just distributes to your area. Let us know.
Yeah.
We could look at maybe getting it out here.
Yeah.
Because there's one beer that I had been told about a while ago. It took me a while to get to because it's called Pliny the Elder.
I've heard you talk about this.
You have
before.
heard me talk about it. So
it's a great name,
I got
by the
told
way.
about it, and I looked it up. I can't remember the name of the company that distributes it.
That's okay.
But they only distribute either in the Southern California area or at the time that I looked it up, Philadelphia.
Wow.
Now, I'm not driving or spending any time in Philadelphia.
Those are very specific places.
So the company is located in California. So
I mean, that would make
sense.
sense. But Philly, I feel like that's just like a very oddly specific place to.
I wonder, I'm going to look it up now. Oh, it's Russian River Brewing. So I wonder if they distribute better than they did at the time. But at the time, those were the only locations. So me and Kim went to San Diego, and we were there, and I said to her, I was like, my goal is to get Pliny the Elder. I've been looking at getting this beer for like 18 months because we had gone to San Diego the year before.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it. I went to a place that had it, and they were sold out.
Ah, of course.
So then we went there, and I was like, I'm getting it. Like, I'm going to fucking Uber
just to get it.
A fucking wherever. And I don't even remember where I went. I went to some, like, shops. And I walked in, and they had single Pliny the Elders. Like, I couldn't even buy it in a six-pack.
I'll take all your entire
I was like,
stock.
I don't care. I'm buying it. And
I'll take the wizard.
And I got that beer, and I took home the bottle, and I have the bottle sitting in my when you go down to my basement, I have all those bottles there. That's where it's sitting.
Nice.
And it's like, to me, the beer was very good. It was very good, but I feel like I liked it so much because I finally found it. Took me so long to get it. And sorry, Philadelphia, I'm not wasting my time there. No. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. They'll understand.
But if I could ever get Pliny the Elder on here, I would. So let us know about your local beers that you think we should try.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's something that compares to one of the beers we've had in a previous episode, right?
And also, if you have good citrusy beers, please let us know because we need redemption from last week.
Yeah. You should just watch last week's episode specifically for that, if for nothing else. Just to see.
Or follow us on our TikTok because I cut up all the beer reviews.
Yeah, you can watch the shorts, basically.
But yeah, so I'm an 8. I'm an 8.5. You're an 8.
I was an 8, yeah.
And we're re-rating the Voodoo Ranger Citrus.
Yeah, I would say a 9 for that one.
You'd give it a 9.
I'd give it a 9 because I really enjoyed it.
I'm going to say 8.5, and I think we need to have it on for a re-rating.
Yeah.
In a little bit when we get some other beers under our, I guess, stomachs. I was going to say belt, but stomachs is more accurate.
It's true.
All right, so Victory, Juicy Monkey.
Buy it. Enjoy it.
Yes.
Love it. Because we do.
But love it responsibly.
Yeah. That's the key.
This podcast does not support drunk driving or any shitty decisions, so please do not do that. Hence the reason I did not drive here tonight.
I did. Responsibly.
And you live here.
And I live here,
So you won't be driving after.
Yeah, I don't want to say I feel it already because we, like I said, we've already had
we had 2 beers each.
Yeah. But I feel like I feel the something setting in.
Yeah.
It's just a feeling, like, it's not like the vision's changing or anything like that, but
I feel like you're getting the feeling of I've had a beer. Because you were drinking, the beer at the brewery was on the lighter side,
yeah,
right?
it was
what was that, 4.8%?
the blonde ale,
or
yeah, like
5% or something
yeah,
like that?
4.8 or 4.9.
So you're getting the setting in of
I've had
the beer is hitting me.
Yeah, I've had some
right?
alcohol.
Where I had a beer called the Hail Sight Haze, Six Harbors Brewing. Go there. If
Very
you're
good.
ever
Very good.
on Long Island, New York, I don't know why you would be, but if you are, go there. It's in Huntington.
Maybe you're a local yokel,
You might be. That's a great beer. That was 6.2, and
Did it feel strong to you?
No, it was.
I didn't even ask you before.
Honestly, it was a pretty light IPA, like not super hoppy. It tasted great. I feel like IPAs tend to get super hoppy, and they want to be the most
Very
bitter
strong, yeah.
and all that. That wasn't
I don't
hoppy.
love that, though, in an
This
IPA.
isn't hoppy either.
I feel like that's kind of what deters people from the IPA in the first place, is the fact that it does have such a very hoppy and strong taste. And, originally I was kind of the same way. I liked beer, but I kind of liked a little lighter and not so heavy and bitter tasting.
Well, also, in the craft beer explosion that has happened in the last handful of years or a decade or whatever it is, so many bros, pardon the pun.
I'm a bro. You're a bro.
So many bros have
bros.
come into the fucking beer space. Jesus Christ. Sorry. So many bros have come into the beer space, and I feel like their goal was to make the most fucking bitter, hoppy, highest alcohol percentage IPAs that you could sit there and drink one and be like, I'm fucking hammered.
Yeah. It's like a challenge. It's like a
right.
challenge, right? Like, can you handle this?
There are a lot
I can
of...
see that being like a fucking trend.
That's
like
the
a
thing,
TikTok
is
trend.
there are a lot of IPAs that are good, but there are a lot of IPAs that are bad. So,
like the
Pliny
Stone one.
the Elder, right there. You see that is a double IPA.
Oh, the double
That
IPA.
That does not taste like what I feel like a double IPA
should
usually
taste like?
No, not should, usually, because
Okay.
my experience with double IPAs is heavy on the hops, massive bitterness, 10% fucking alcohol where you have 2 and you're,
Yeah.
sleeping.
But that's crazy to think, though. Like, that's 10%, and this is 9.5.
Well, this isn't 10%, but
Okay.
I'm saying...
But the other double IPAs.
There are double IPAs and triple IPAs that are 10 and more.
I'm kind of curious. What is
Pliny the Elder is 8
I'm curious what the highest... What is the highest percentage
for a beer. So
that's something I've never even pondered.
At Six Harbors tonight, that Brew Dogs. Did you see that Brew Dog? So Six Harbors, they have dogs that are there. They're called the Brew Dogs. They have that beer named after the Brew Dogs. That's 11. That was 11. I've seen 11. I don't know.
11. Wow.
I feel like the alcohol percentage per beer is regulated by state.
Okay.
Because I've been in other states where, in restaurants at least, like you couldn't get certain beers over a certain percentage. Wow. I know that's very vague. I don't remember the state or the beer or where I was.
I guess it makes sense,
I was probably drinking too high percentage beers.
He was like, yeah, I had the 15%, and I can't remember what it was. I mean, that's interesting, though. I am kind of curious now, though, as to what that would be. Where is our... If you've ever seen Joe Rogan, it's like, where is our Jamie?
I just looked it up. Here we go, Jamie. But really, Dillon, please. The 5 highest ABV beers in the United States, 28% is Utopias by Sam Adams. Never heard of that.
I've never heard of that.
So then
I don't even know if I'm interested, to be honest, because
right,
that sounds insane.
You might as well drink liquor.
Yeah.
18.5% 15% is Rumpkin by Avery Brewing Company. Then there's 18% Chocolate Rain by the brewery, but that's Bruery. Chocolate Rain. I'm not a fan of the chocolate beers. However, chocolate wine is pretty good, we'll say.
Yeah, I was going to say, just like when you said that, if you watch back the video, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then there's, so that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 17%, it says higher math. This one's cut off. And then 15 to 20%, the 120-minute IPA, which is Dogfish Head, which I've had the 120 IPA before. I didn't realize it was that high. I've only had it once.
I can't believe, though, 28%. I mean,
I've never heard of Utopias by Sam Adams.
But if you think about it, right, 28%, naming it Utopia seems like the most apt naming of a beer, right?
You have
that's
two,
possible, because
and you're in Utopia.
You will be in Utopia, honestly. I mean, who knows, right? For some people, maybe even one, like, if you're not a drinker.
Oh, see, this is saying it's liquor.
But that makes more sense though to me, like, because you think 28%, I'm like, that's like an extremely high percentage for a beer. Like, at that point it has to be a very low volume liquor.
It says it. It's interesting. It says it's beer, but it's being sold on all liquor platforms.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like,
and it's also being sold for a lot of money.
Very interesting. Let's make it a TikTok trend, guys. Let's go. Get on there. Not me, not Dillon, but maybe one day. Who knows? But you guys do it.
I wonder if Utopia's is.
I mean, I do like Sam Adams. Like I said, that's basically my natural go-to. But
I wonder if it's a singular beer or if it's just multiple spirits, and that's why they call it Utopias.
I mean, maybe it could be. The one thing that I hate about, like, this part when I'm drinking, for whatever reason, maybe it's just because of the time of night, my fucking sinuses are, like, clogged. You could tell, right? Like, I don't want to keep sniffling into the mic, and it's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like I'm not bumping lines over here. I swear to God, even though I got a schnozberry.
Okay, so I'm on Sam Adams' website, and this is why you haven't heard of it. The availability. On their website, they say it's rare. It's released every other year.
Only a rare.
It's 25-ounce custom bottle. And they do consider it, according to this, a beer. And there is hops in it. So I would imagine they release it. It's sold for hundreds of dollars since it's as rare as it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy this. Well.
Be fun. It would be fun.
I'm going to try to buy it.
Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, like, in my mind, maybe, for whatever reason, you're like, oh, it's rare. And I'm like, in my head, I immediately equate that to, like, video game terms, because I'm just like, no, it can't be. It's not a rare.
It's a rare achievement.
It's a fucking epic or legendary. Like, it's the highest of rarity that's possible. It's the highest magnitude that could be.
All right, so let's see. Sam Adams Utopia.
It's going to be a beer-heavy episode, so sorry, ladies, unless you like beer. Not
so
that we have.
Only 13,000 to 15,000 bottles are distributed.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that sure doesn't seem like a lot.
This is in 2021. This year's Utopias, according to the company, is a special one made from a variety of beers that have been barrel-aged for up to 30 years. So this is a few $100s for 25 ounces. It's not a lot.
Still seems crazy, right?
Shit.
The fact that it even exists.
28%. I want to buy it now. I'm going to buy it now. I'm going to buy it.
Let us know in that comment section if you want to see us try it, guys. We'll make this as a short.
Well, to be fair, if I buy it,
I'll chip.
We're going to have some shots here. We won't. It's 25 ounces.
I know. I was going to say, there's no way we're
I'm assuming a few hundred,
Could you
maybe
imagine if we tried to
$1,000s.
slug one of these fuckers down? Like, I'd be vomiting on set.
Yeah. I wasn't worried about our well-being. I was worried about the price per ounce.
I mean, I'd probably maybe still be vomiting on set regardless, but and have less money.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it.
Nice.
I've decided. You know, there are a few things that I choose to
Indulge?
buy that I know are going to be ridiculously expensive, and before I go in, I say I'm going to buy it regardless of the price. So the next thing, well, the next thing might be the Sam Adams, if I even remember. Because it doesn't even say when they release
You'll
it.
have this video to remember.
Yeah, but I don't even know when they release it, and I'll be
Yeah.
honest, I'm not looking for it every day.
Yeah,
But
I hear you.
the World Cup, the Men's World Cup is coming to America.
I would go to that.
So I talked to Omar, and I said to Omar, by any chance, if the final is in New Jersey, which is MetLife Stadium, which is a couple hours from here,
Yeah. Not very far at all.
I am buying a ticket to go to the final.
No matter what.
I do not care how much it costs.
Ooh, that is.
I do not care.
That's
I
a
don't
statement.
care. I don't care. I know it's going to be a lot of money. It's going to be a waste of money. I'm very well aware of that.
You might get lucky though.
Once in a lifetime opportunity, I'm buying tickets. If the final is not in New Jersey, then I'm not going to go because I won't fly to Pasadena because they're saying the finale might be in the Rose Bowl, which is in Pasadena, California. I won't fly for it. I'll just go to a couple games at MetLife, and that's fine. But if the
Either
final,
ways, that's fine.
if the final is in fucking New Jersey,
I would be excited to watch some soccer games though, like over at MetLife.
That would be, and my thing is, like, I don't even need to give a fuck about the teams that are there. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be USA. It would be
I
great
actually
if I
would-
knew some players,
It's gonna
but
sound horrible, but like I probably would rather it not be USA.
because you're gonna care too much, right?
Yeah,
Because for me, I'm gonna care too much, and they're gonna lose.
and I know
So-
they're not great. So
that's the thing is they're not bad.
they're not bad, but
Right,
there are a
they're-
lot of.
I
other
would
teams
actually
that are just
consider
better.
I would consider them good. But the thing is,
There's just so many other competitors.
they also
that are
team
top notch.
the men's team has a history of just not showing up at times.
Yeah,
Now, granted, the last World Cup they actually played pretty well.
yeah, they
And
did. They did.
The team that they lost to was better than them. So I knew going in they weren't going to win. The team was better than them, and they beat them, which is fine. But you're right. It's almost better to go see two teams you don't give a fuck
like,
about,
you
so
know?
you could just have a good time.
I have I have some teams that I always will want to watch, and if I can watch them, I will. But if I can't, I just really enjoyed that time of the year when the World Cup is on because I'll watch every game if I can.
Yeah. I mean, the Women's World Cup is airing right now.
And I know the U.S. got eliminated by Sweden, right? I believe.
Yeah, in penalty kicks. The other problem is it's in Australia.
Oh,
so
that's
for
tough.
America,
Yeah. That's
the games
early.
they're either
Is that like 3 in the morning?
So the games, they did a good job of airing the American games like 10 p.m. our time,
Okay.
but I feel like they were trying to cater to the American audience because the other games are like 11, 2 a.m., 4 a.m. or 5 a.m.
Yeah, I was
like
expecting the AMs.
The game that they got eliminated, that game started at 5 o'clock in the morning.
So brutal.
So
dude.
there were a whole bunch of people that woke up to watch, and credit to all of you. But I think it was 1-1 and they went to penalties, or it was 0-0 and they went to penalties.
That's
it's
a
just
tough-
like at 5, 7 a.m. Man.
A 0-0 game going into penalties, that's tough.
So what's interesting
That is a tough
for
loss.
me personally as a watch, 0-0 for the first 60 minutes is like, all right.
That's fine.
You're
But
just
90 minutes.
But then like the the next 30 minutes is stressful because anything could happen and anyone could score, and that might be the game.
And that could be it. Yeah.
And then you're in extra time. Now, extra time in soccer, you play the full 30 minutes of extra time. So even if you score a minute into extra time, I get 29 minutes to tie you.
It's not the goal.
Or beat
it's
you.
not golden goal.
It's not golden goal.
Yeah.
Or it's not overtime like hockey is.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of where my brain was at.
So then they go into penalty kicks, and then in penalty kicks, the penalty kick that went in to eliminate them
was just not good.
The goalie got hands on it. It pops in the air. It comes down. She smacks it away. It looks like she saved it, but they have something called VAR, which is Video Assistant Referee. The ball crossed the line. So in soccer, the entire ball has to cross the line. It crossed the line by 1 millimeter, and they got eliminated.
Man, that might be the toughest L to swallow.
That is a tough L.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this, though. What I do like, sorry, I'm fucking everything up here. Hopefully I didn't hit the off button. Sorry, Steve. What What I do like, though, what came of it is there's this woman on the Netherlands who apparently she didn't like this. According to her, a lot of the American women were talking a lot of shit. So she was like, good, I'm glad they're gone. I'm like, all right, we got bulletin board material for fucking 2027. We're coming back. And they got a young team, so they'll be fine. But either way.
Yeah, they had a lot of people that retired and stuff.
If there is a World Cup final for the Men's World Cup in, I believe it's 2026, me and Omar are going. I talked to Omar already. We're going. I'm going.
I would go to a game. I don't know if I'll go to the final, but I'd be interested in
I would go to the final just because there's one final every 4 years.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I get that. It's basically like the equivalent, so like, of going to WrestleMania.
Super Bowl or WrestleMania.
Yeah, so like for me, you know, like I was blessed enough to be able to go to WrestleMania. I went to
in MetLife, right?
MetLife. Yeah, I went to WrestleMania 29.
Man,
it's so crazy to think about how long ago it was, because when I think about it, I remember like coming home from work and I rushed over to Tim's house or Tim's apartment, and he was with Serena still in their little apartment, and we bought tickets on his computer, you know, for basically like just shy of like, you know, $2,000 a pop.
Yeah.
And
which is
wild, right? Because that's definitely the most expensive ticket that I've ever bought, and it wasn't like it was front row or anything like that. It was next to the ramp, like right next to the stage. Actually,
you guys had pillars in the way.
So I will say this: the pillar wasn't bad where we were, but where Tim was, like, you know, higher up.
Yeah, I remember he showed me pictures.
Yeah, it was awful for him. He was, you know, they wanted their money back and everything. A lot of people were complaining. I never understand that whole thing. I get if it rains, you want to have like a top to cover the ring, because
you guys had good weather.
But we did have good weather, and our seats were great, and we got to see people setting up, you know, the staging area, so you knew who was going to come out and what kind of pyro and stuff was going to happen. It was very cool. And you, like I said, the obstruction wasn't that bad. You basically couldn't see like one corner of the ring, which really wasn't terrible. And, you know, it was just a fun experience. It's one of those like once in a lifetime opportunities, potentially, you know, depending on whether you're willing to travel and spend a buttload of cash.
I mean, you know, there are people that travel to WrestleMania every year. They go to the weekend and they do the whole thing. And it's like, for me, as much as I do want to go to a finale, the finale alone is going to be
expensive.
$1,000, right? At least
bucks.
like $1,000, $2,000.
Yeah, like if you're trying to buy, especially
there.
like ground level.
No. Because I'm assuming for a World Cup, that's going to be 20 grand.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe more.
Probably more. I mean, obviously, soccer is an international thing. Like, wrestling is very minute.
And there are a lot of people that travel for soccer, especially for the World Cup, because their countries are so involved in it.
You see it all the time.
Brazil, when the Brazil national team plays, at least the men, I don't know if the women do it, they have a holiday. So everyone can stay at home and watch the national team play. Like, there are a lot of countries that the World Cup means a fuck ton to.
Absolutely.
But I look at it and say, I don't want to spend the money to fly to the state that has the final, because you have to understand the tickets to go there for that time. Let's say it's in California. Tickets to California in general are $200, $300.
Yeah.
For the World Cup, double that at least.
At least.
And then you factor in tickets to the game, and then you factor in hotel in the area.
And they're already going to jack up the
10
price
grand.
because they know people are going to come.
That's 10 grand. It's 10 grand between flights, hotel, and transportation to get there, depending on how close you are.
I will sleep at the stadium. Thank you. Just kidding. Right outside. Yeah,
but
it's
a
wild.
WrestleMania would be cool to go to as well.
It'd be fun.
Though, now that they're only doing stadiums,
makes it a lot harder.
I feel like coming back to the
They would come to MSG, though. They would. They would.
Maybe you think for a WrestleMania?
I don't know. I feel like you have to. It's iconic.
I mean, I get that, right? Because you have WrestleMania, what was it, 1, 10,
20.
and 30, or no?
No, they didn't have 30 was... Actually, I don't know where 30 was. I was going to say New Orleans, but I don't think... Now, I'm not
Were they
sure.
already doing stadiums for 30? Because I know 20... Obviously,
they were,
you said 20 was in the Garden.
I think by 30 they were trying to do like big arenas and stadiums.
Makes me wish New York actually built the West Side Stadium.
Yeah, it's a shame. I think back to like WrestleMania 20, which was I think the last one in New York, and that was so controversial and yet so epic for our generation of watching wrestling, because that was the last time you got to see Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit as the world heavyweight champions of their respective brands,
Wow.
and hugging at the end. That was that was a
What year
tearjerker.
was WrestleMania 20?
Oh man, that's a great question.
I can't
I wanna
believe
say-
you even remember that. That is wild.
I want to say 2004. I remember,
And Benoit died in 05, right?
I believe so. I mean, if my timeline is correct, then
Hold
yeah.
on. Well, we're going to figure this out right
yeah,
now.
I mean, I am kind of curious. to see.
WrestleMania 20 was March 14th of 2004 at Madison Square Garden. See, here's the thing. The stadiums, they're looking at like what? 60,000 to 100,000.
Yeah. How much is MSG getting?
20,000.
Yeah. That's
But
tough,
that was
man.
also at the time WrestleMania 04, so pay-per-view was still a big thing. Like, streaming platforms didn't exist yet.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not going to make that much off of.
They only made $2.4 million in ticket sales. They crushed that now. What they'll do, so when they did Raw 25, right? They did, I think, wasn't Raw at WrestleMania, and then they had like a secondary area at the Manhattan Center?
Maybe? I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, I think they
remember.
did that because they had an area they had a little bit of Raw at the Manhattan Center because they did some shit at the Manhattan Center. I feel like they would do that.
I mean, that would be cool, like having almost like a multiple area WrestleMania.
Because
That would be interesting.
at this point, you can't go back to the Garden if it's only 20K.
Yeah, that's a pretty big
loss. If you're
loss.
selling out 70,000 seat stadiums, you can't go back to the Garden for WrestleMania.
Which is crazy to think, right? Because like, you're at that point, if you're sitting like, super far back and whatever, it's like you're there for the experience of just being there and watching it on the Titantron.
You're right. Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit walk out of WrestleMania 20 as world champions.
Yep. Great WrestleMania. Honestly, the two main events, like both of those, and the Chris Benoit match was the main event against Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
So Cena defeated Big Show
in the first match
for the United States Championship.
Yes. Great. It was honestly a pretty great card. That one also had Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, I believe.
RVD and Booker T.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's WrestleMania 21.
World Championships.
Yeah.
Christian defeated Chris Jericho. Oh, wow. Evolution defeated the Rock and Sock Connection.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that was when Mankind, Mick Foley was.
Oh, so here's how you also know this is old. Tori Wilson and Sable defeated Mickie James and Stacy Keibler in a Playboy evening gown women's tag team match.
That's right.
And they got 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Sick.
Oh, man. That's how you know it's old.
Yeah.
Chavo.
Who did Chavo fight? Oh, it was probably for the cruiserweight, right?
Yeah. It defeated a whole bunch in the Cruiserweight Open, a whole bunch of... Man, there's a lot of fucking legends here. Akio, Billy Kidman, Funaki, Jamie Noble, Nunzio, Rey Mysterio, Shannon Moore. Holy shit. Tajiri and Ultimo Dragon.
Nice.
Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar. Man, I thought you said this was 2018 for a second.
Yeah.
With that happening.
With Austin as the referee.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I remember. The other match happened at 21.
Oh, shit. Too cool. Defended.
I don't even remember them wrestling, to be honest.
Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty.
Wow. That's awesome.
Grandmaster Sexy wasn't there, I guess. Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship.
Wow.
Against Benjamin and Haas.
Oh.
Doug and Danny Basham. And
Basham
Farouk and Bradshaw.
Nice. I used to really love Team Angle.
Victoria beat Molly Holly. They did a hair versus title match.
Okay.
I don't remember that.
Molly Holly lost that one, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Victoria won.
Yeah.
Eddie beat Kurt.
Yeah.
They had 22 minutes.
What a legendary match. The finish was that Kurt Angle went to go he had the ankle lock in, and Eddie had taken off, he had loosened the laces of his boots beforehand from an ankle lock previously. So when Kurt went to go put it in a second time, he flipped out of it and rolled him up and pinned him for a win. And I'm like,
was this around like the lie, cheat, and steal era?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, of course, that's like that
I
was
mean, that's
Eddie's
classic
moniker
Eddie.
for a while. Yeah. But I was just like, a lot of people will probably be really upset about like a roll up pin like that for a finish.
but
not
like, that way.
But yeah, it
not
was a
if you
very
do it right.
special way.
Undertaker beats Kane with Paul Bearer.
Okay.
Interesting. They got 8 minutes. I feel like that's just a
filler. That's not a great match
and
for
then
either one of them.
Benoit beats Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
by submission.
That was a great match.
25 minutes with Triple H going in as the champ at the time.
Yep. Crippler crossface for the win.
Oh no, Benoit was 07 when he died. 2007.
Oh, so it was a little while after.
Yeah.
He had a good title run, and then he was plagued with injury.
Right around the time we graduated high school, June 24th. Like that must have been like
right before
the Monday before our fucking
like the last
graduation. Or some shit. Because I remember that Raw where they all
we were
came
still in
out.
school. Because I remember. I feel like I remember being somewhere with like, people from school at like a school event. Maybe it was for me. It was probably from chorus.
Yeah.
Maybe it was extracurricular, but I definitely was there, and I remember saying like, "Oh my God, did you guys hear that? Like, fucking Benoit's dead or whatever. He like fucking killed his family." I was very upset about Eddie though. Honestly, more so than Chris Benoit, especially.
I think Eddie was 2005.
He was sooner. Yeah, he was sooner because Benoit basically fell off the rails because
November of 2005 for
yeah.
Eddie.
I'll never forget Eddie Guerrero though, and I was like, so lame. I was like,
I still watch Eddie highlights on YouTube.
I went into school with like a fucking thing taped around my, EG, like,
okay.
So lame back then.
No, that's not lame. That's cool.
You're like, it's cool. It's so great. I love it. It's fucking stupid.
No, but Eddie was so.
I loved Eddie
so
though.
Amazing.
He was iconic. And I still think about the video package that they had for him, where it was "Here Without You" from Three Doors Down, and
I'm here without you, baby.
I think about it right now, and it makes me so sad. Like I could tear up right now.
Oh man, he was so young, 38 years old.
He was so good, and he was working some great story arcs with like Batista. They had some excellent back and forths, and then just dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
Oh, man. Eddie Guerrero. Frog Splash extraordinaire.
He was. You see tons of people do it now, but it's not the same. A lot of people do it really well, but it'll never be Eddie good.
They're not Eddie. How could it be that good?
The hat came off.
Yeah.
Is it hot? Is the beer getting to you?
It's not that it's hot. It's just like I'm embracing Eddie again. I remember when the WWE, before they knew what happened with Benoit, they did what they always do. Everyone walked out on the stage.
The stage, yeah,
right?
the
They
moment
did,
of silence. The
right.
10 tolls of the bell or whatever.
Yeah, they might have done that. I don't remember that. But then they found out what happened.
Yeah, just...
And then you can't find on any official WWE anything. You can't find Chris Benoit anything.
Scrubbed
and
him
that
clean.
Raw doesn't exist.
Yeah.
At least the beginning of that Raw doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But I would imagine
that's a shame.
That
really
throughout that whole Raw, they were talking about Chris Benoit, so I imagine that Raw is just gone.
It's probably gone, yeah. I wonder, it makes me think I wonder if they scrubbed him from the Eddie Guerrero special. Like the Raw or whatever it was when they did that for Eddie. You know? Because that's a shame.
Well,
I mean,
Eddie,
I get it.
Eddie just, I think, what I think is he was taking a lot of steroids, and his heart just couldn't take it.
Yeah, I mean that seems right.
Because most 38-year-olds aren't dying of heart attacks.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Who knows? But
it's tough.
Yeah, can't find Chris Benoit on anything WWE.
Controversial topic, right?
Yeah.
About Chris Benoit. Does he deserve to be, notarized in the WWE Hall of Fame? Like, does he belong to be mentioned?
No. Definitely not Hall of Fame. No, not Hall of Fame at all. Because Hall of Fame, you're there for accomplishment and hopefully character.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, accomplishments, I would say yes, but character,
if you go just on accomplishments, like
he's a Hall of Famer.
If Chris Benoit doesn't kill his family and hang himself, like if he's a normal guy and doesn't have that psychosis,
he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah,
and just is now retired, he's absolutely a Hall of Famer based on his wrestling ability and the matches he's done. He's great, but you got to factor in the fact that he killed his wife, he killed his son, and he hung himself. Not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Are his matches still good? Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Probably one of the most technical wrestlers that's ever been. Honestly, you watch some of those matches and you know what you're getting. You're getting a fucking pure thoroughbred, trained wrestler. Chops, suplexes, everything. It all looks great. I mean, he never was very like super charismatic, which is fine because his wrestling ability spoke for all those things. It made up for the lack of charisma.
I also feel like they, everywhere he was, did a good job of putting him with like Dean Malenko, who did more talking than he did.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even consider Dean Malenko very charismatic.
He wasn't, but probably out of the Four Horsemen or like the later versions of that with Perry Saturn and all that and Eddie.
Right.
Right.
Obviously, Eddie's the most charismatic of the bunch.
Oh, yeah.
But they were also from a time that you could be good wrestlers and be plenty successful and get away with being okay on the mic.
That's true. Because
he had solidified himself to the point that he can come over to WWE, still put on great fucking matches, and speak occasionally. Because I feel like he only spoke occasionally. He didn't talk that often. Right? Think about...
It took a while.
Here's the storyline that I look to. And it's funny because my memory is just kind of supporting what we're saying. Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit steals Kurt Angle's Olympic medals and sticks it down the front of his pants. Right? So the medals spend the whole time in the front of his pants. Do you remember Chris Benoit talking at all during that storyline? Because I don't. I just remember Chris Benoit stealing it, and he would just show him sticking it down his pants, and then Kurt Angle would spend 20 minutes screaming about how fucking pissed off he was about it.
I'm trying to think, like, what year was that? Like,
I don't remember, but I remember exactly how it ends. Kurt Angle slams Chris Benoit, pins him, and then very reluctantly reaches down the front of Chris Benoit's pants and pulls his medals out and then kisses them. And then the whole crowd goes wild that he just kissed medals that were down the front of Benoit's pants. And Kurt Angle does a great job of being disgusted and also very happy that he got his medals back. But I remember promos during that whole thing, and I only remember Kurt Angle. I don't remember.
Did he have hair? Do you remember?
No.
Like, no, he didn't have hair, or you don't remember?
Both. I would say, oh, shit, the mic's there. Can you believe that? Let me make sure I didn't turn it off.
It's looking shady.
I do not think he had hair.
Okay. I'm just curious, because I was trying to think back, and I'm like, oh, was that like before the 2 out of 3 falls match for when like Kurt had both belts and it was him, Jericho, and Benoit in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Intercontinental and European title.
Okay.
Which was very interesting. That was that 17? No, that was 18, I think. Great match though.
WrestleMania 17. Oh, see, I'm looking it up, and because WWE scrubbed that whole storyline with him and Benoit, Kurt Angle says WWE is erasing a lot of his career.
Yeah.
In April of this year.
Kurt loves Benoit. Like, he will, obviously freely talk about Benoit as being, like, the most intense and influential wrestler that he's faced in his career.
I've heard Jericho talk about him and Benoit's matches, right? And he talks highly of the matches, but also acknowledges the fact that his inevitable demise was awful.
Yeah.
Right? And you can do that, but I also understand that WWE wanting to market to children and parents.
Well, yeah, you can't
certainly
can't have that in your history. Doesn't bode well.
I'm trying to find this, so once I find this, we could probably end. But give me 1 second.
In case you guys had no idea, we had literally no format for this podcast at all. We just kind of...
We also usually don't have
We usually
a format.
don't.
The only time we had a format was Kim was here.
Yeah.
And Kim was here.
Women are very important.
They are.
for organization, amongst other things. But yeah, I mean, sometimes we come in here and we do have like a general idea of what we want to talk about, and we kind of, hit on some key points, and we just kind of shoot the shit after that. But tonight it was just kind of like, we planned on coming back from the Alive After 5 anyways, and just
2001
free potting it as I kind of dubbed it before. 2001 for what? That was the triple threat?
Yeah, that was when he stole Kurt Angle's medals.
Oh, the medals. That timeline's perfect for 17.
When did
yeah, because 2000, right? WrestleMania 2000
and
was
then
16,
WrestleMania 17.
and WrestleMania 17 was.
So when did Benoit and the other horsemen come over to WWE?
Right before WrestleMania 2000.
So I'd imagine they either debuted at the end of '99.
Invasion. When was Invasion? I think Invasion was 2001.
I think.
So probably right after WrestleMania 2000 was when WCW folded.
Yeah.
If Chris watches these videos, Chris will definitely comment.
He will also know.
He will know for sure. So, I was gonna say
he's got a fucking.
He's got a great.
He's got
memory
a great
for that,
memory
right?
when it comes to wrestling.
I used to have a pretty. Great
His other
memory.
shit can't remember shit. Sorry, Chris,
But wrestling, hey man, it is what it is. You're the wrestling guy. No problem with that. I used to be very good with that kind of stuff, but I've
hold on. I'm looking
since
at it
kind of
here.
faded out. Also, we just would like to say, we've never said this in the other episodes, and we've kind of implemented it recently, but we do put up the episodes before on Spotify and all the audio platforms a day ahead of releasing it on YouTube. So if you are interested in following us there. Oh, 2000 was the Invasion? Okay, so.
Yeah, it was his official start at WWF. They were still F. Yeah. 2000.
Yeah, get the F out.
But yes, listen.
Yeah, so I mean, if you do want to hear it a day early, we usually post it on Saturdays because most of the time we post the video version on Sundays, unless I'm feeling particularly lazy on a Sunday.
Also, last week, editing was just not viable.
Yeah, it also depends on what we got going on, but most of the time I try to bang out these for you guys to just be able to, listen and watch right away. But we are doing, like I said, the audio versions on Saturdays, so if you want to listen to it a day early and potentially watch, because we do post the video podcasts even on those platforms, then you should follow us over there on the Spotify,
Please do.
Amazon Music, etc. All the links will be in the description, as we said in the beginning of the episode.
And thanks for joining us. And please comment on what beer you want us to try. And anything else you have to say. Just comment and, we'll be there and we'll interact.
Yeah, and drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Please check out our other content and also check out the reacts on the channel. Dillon's been in a bunch of them. They're all really fun. Yeah.
My microphone has been on.
His mic is on.
And like, comment, subscribe. Find us on TikTok, Instagram, and listen on the audio platforms, please.
And with that being said, I'm pretty sure that's all we got for you guys. So thank you so much. I don't have any beer in here, but I'll cheers.
It's okay. We'll cheers.
I'll cheers you anyway and be like, oh my.
And have a good night.
Cut! What? Yeah. Dude, how great is LA Knight? Have you seen LA Knight?
I know what he looks like.
He's basically a mashup of The Rock and Stone Cold.
I've heard he's stealing The Rock's flow.
Oh, he's so good, though. He's so good.
All right. We'll have to see.
Yeah! That's literally LA Knight.